to the Vet Blast podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Adam Chrisman from DVM 360. And with me this week, you guys, is Dr. Robert Silver from RX Vitamins. Thank you, Dr. Silver, for being on.
Adam, thank you for having me. This is exciting.
This is a very exciting opportunity that we're going down a great path with for the next several months. So why don't we first start with sharing with the audience and the listeners on a little bit about who you are. Those of you that may not know who you are, tell us a little bit about who you are.
Okay, well, I'm a 1982 graduate of Colorado State University's College of Veterinary Medicine. And when I graduated, I thought I had all the tools I needed to go out and fight disease and help keep animals healthy. But after a number of years in practice, there were some cases that were falling between the cracks, chronic disease, cancer, things like that. And I started looking for other answers. And the answers I came up with included herbal, nutraceutical, acupuncture, dietary therapies. And I got so excited at the success, I started speaking publicly to veterinarians about this stuff, and the rest is kind of history from there.
I mean, you wrap it up so quickly, but I'm telling you, you have quite the career.
Well, yeah, I mean, so, 25 years ago, I was contacted.
Yeah.
So 25 years ago, I was contacted by RX Vitamins based on my speaking and the papers I was writing about these emerging therapies, and they asked if I wouldn't, kind of head up the company in terms of designing their formulas and providing educational resources to the veterinarians to educate them about how to best use these emerging therapies.
So give us a little bit of examples in terms of the portfolio of, say, RX Vitamins and how that, integrates into the everyday practice for veterinarians.
Whoa, that's a question. So there are nearly 40 products that I have designed for RX Vitamins over the 25 years that I've been with them. And some of these products are relatively esoteric in terms of the herbs and the nutrients that are in them. Some of them are very basic. Like we have a phosphate binder formula. It's aluminum hydroxide ground very fine. That's all that it is. It is highly palatable. We have a montmorillonite clay that's been for which there are evidence-based studies to support its ability to help patients who have diarrhea, especially secondary to chemotherapy. We have many oncology centers order that by the case from us. We were the first veterinary company to have a product that had CBD in it. And since then, we have sold nearly 400,000 bottles to veterinarians over the last 5 years. So I have a lot of hands-on experience about that. We've got a great fish oil. We've got cranberry. I mean, it's a large roster. And it's getting more and more complicated to detail them. And so that's where I come in terms of focusing on certain ingredients in some of these formulas and talking about the science and the clinicals that support our use of those.
I love it. And there's so much science and so much clinical use for it that we're having a multiple series about this too. So tell our listeners a little bit about what our plan is and what we're planning on doing for the next several months.
Well, for the last really 20 years, but mainly for the last 5 years, I've been out there traveling, speaking at conferences 20, 30 times a year sponsored by RX Vitamins to educate veterinarians about these ingredients, about these novel ingredients that can be very useful to them in practice that are in our products. Well, with this coronavirus, traveling has been kind of dampened down. And so I'm feeling a need to continue. I'm really loving educating the veterinarians, and I'm feeling a need to continue that. So it was my idea to partner with DVM 360 to do this series of 6 webinars that will highlight some of the best things that we have in our product lineup. So we've got the first one is the one on an introduction to nutraceuticals, and the entire emerging category of therapeutics that I work in are nutraceuticals. So I thought that would be a really good topic to kick things off.
Love that one. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is, and it's a good one. And I'm also initiating a podcast series that RX Vitamins is going to sponsor, so that a week after we air the live webinar on nutraceuticals, I'm having Bill Bookout, who's the president of the National Animal Supplement Council, speak about the FDA and about regulating animal nutraceuticals, because many veterinarians would like to use animal nutraceuticals, but they're reluctant because they're not so-called FDA approved. We're going to clear the air on that topic. And then after that, I'm doing 2 back-to-back lectures on CBD. The first one I'm going to summarize in detail the many studies that are out there. I've been talking about the studies for years when I've been giving talks on CBD, but there's a plethora. There's quite a few now. And it's a good idea to navigate them because they can give us good clinical guidance as far as how to use these products best. And then the third CBD webinar is going to be on a practicum, where we're going to talk about how to choose a product, how to use a C of A to select that product, dosing recommendations, anecdotal recommendations regarding dosages, evidence-based uses, and anecdotal uses as well. And that should be a lively topic as well. I'm going to have Gary Richter with my podcast follow up with me. And Gary is the head of the Veterinary Cannabis Society, a fairly new society. We'll have Gary talk about that as well.
That's going to generate a lot of conversation because it's such a very hot topic and timely, if you will, of how we integrate it, how we use it. What's the endocannabinoid system, and all the CBD and CBGs and all the variants that are come with it. So, we have quite the journey over the next 6 months, Dr. Silver.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to working with you, Adam, and I'm looking forward to being able to provide a larger number of veterinarians, a wider audience with good, credible, scientifically based information about the use of nutraceuticals.
Here. I mean, that's exactly what I love about this too, because to our listeners, we get a lot of emails that come through DVM 360 regarding about nutraceuticals and CBD. And Dr. Silver is really going to help set the record straight. So that way we can be more knowledge, feel more empowered, and really be able to practice great medicine now and beyond. To our listeners, so you have an idea, our first live webinar with Dr. Silver is September 9th. And there's going to be kind of a good routine that we're going to have with our live webinars. It's going to be, it looks like the first Wednesday of every month, more or less. So like September 9th, October 14th, November 11th, December 9th, January 13th, and February 10th. I had to get them in there just so that way we do.
Yeah. And so, we'll finish up in February, and hopefully by then the world will start looking a little better as far as getting out and speaking in person as well.
I love that. So where can we find more information about you and RX Vitamins?
Well, I think probably going directly to the RX Vitamins website. I don't know if there's much information about me, but certainly that's the place to go regarding, the RX Vitamins products and signing up for an account if you don't already have one. And RX Vitamins is going to be offering to their customers a special code that will give them access to all of these on-demand webinars and the live webinars, as well as a couple of other bennies. And again, that's our way of thanking our customers for their years of loyalty to our company.
I love that. I mean, and that's just how we work together synergistically and propel and advance the needle in veterinary medicine. So, again, to the listeners that are listening to this, that Dr. Silver and RX Vitamins is going to be generous enough to provide you guys with access to our on-demand continuing education center that not only will house Dr. Silver's lectures, but we have about 15 other courses that are in there, ranging from veterinary dentistry to pain management, the list goes on. So I think it's a great opportunity for us to learn and grow during this pandemic and beyond, for that matter. So I think it's wonderful.
Well, DVM 360's online educational CE opportunities are an incredible resource for the veterinarian. I think it's great what you guys are doing.
Oh, thank you so much, Dr. Silver. And also, we have to give a shout out to our Instagram live sessions that you and I are going to be doing as well. So you're going to be seeing a lot of us in different platforms, which is great. This is how we deliver content in different platforms. So Dr. Silver and myself are going to have some little wrap-up sessions leading up towards the live webinar and answering any of your questions too. So you're welcome to email us through DVM 360 as well. And we'll be happy to get those those questions answered for you, I should say. And be sure to interact and follow the link that we'll be sending out for each of the live webinars with Dr. Silver, you guys, because we want those questions. We're going to be doing interactive Q&A. We're going to be doing some polling. So we want to get a pulse on the profession and what you guys' thoughts are with Dr. Silver. So thank you so much, Dr. Silver. We're ready for this.
It's my pleasure. I am looking forward to it. See you soon.
See you soon is right. That's exactly right. And thank you, everybody, for listening to the Vet Blast podcast. Remember, stay pawsome.